Hi, Fortunate Ones. Welcome back to Fortunate Living. I'm Nadine, and today I wanted to do a video about 5 ways that your homeschooler can make friends. That is like always a question that people have. So if you are a homeschool parent or you're thinking about homeschooling, but you have concerns about how is my child or my children going to be able to make friends, this is the video for you. Stay tuned. Okay, so you guys can see I just came from baseball. It's 100 and something degrees here, the humidity. So join me as I have my after game beverage. No, I didn't play, but I sat out on the hot bleachers, okay? So this is my non-alcoholic red wine spritzer. It's a combination of Concord grape juice and then one of these little spritzers, what do they call? Sparkling waters. I got this at Aldi. I feel like I'm having a red wine spritzer. And if you're someone that doesn't drink, but you want to go out on mom's night out or out with the nurses on, when they go out, the coworkers get together, order half cranberry juice, half ginger ale, and let them put it in a wine glass. And then you're still having your little cocktail along with everybody else. And it's so refreshing. Okay. Tip, mom, tip for you. A lot of people have concerns like, my children are not going to school, and they just think, if my kids are not at school, how are they gonna make friends? That's the way that people make friends. A lot of times the answer you'll get to that question is, oh, if you're a homeschooler, you can be in a co-op and your kids will make friends in a co-op. As a homeschooler that works, I can't always belong to these co-ops. A lot of times the hours of the co-ops are like geared toward people that don't work, that their full-time job is homeschooling. Well, I work, I'm a registered nurse. So a lot of times I can't participate in those opportunities to make lasting friendships. The co-ops don't work for me because either I'm asleep from working night shift or I'm at work lecturing. So co-ops have never worked for me. So these are the 5 top ways that my kids were able to make friends, even though we were homeschoolers. So number 1, our neighbors. We would be out and about, going to the park, just hanging out in our backyard. In your backyard, our backyards, you could see over into the other people's backyards. Just being in our neighborhood, my children have made friends that way, out riding their bikes, just meeting people. So just the people in your neighborhood, just organically, you'll make friends. You don't have to be in the same building with the children all day at school to make friends with them. Number 2, wherever your place of worship is, whether it be a church, a mosque, maybe it's just a Bible study you go to. A lot of times, religious organizations, they'll separate those people that participate in those things like by age groups. So your kids might meet someone and really hit it off. That has happened with us. So the 3rd way that my homeschoolers were able to make friends is actually, ta-da, at the neighborhood schools, whether it be the public schools or the private schools. And the way we did that was, my son, when he got into middle school, he was a basketball player. It turned out that the area private school, the association that their athletics department was under, would allow homeschoolers to come and play sports. Yes, he never went to that school, but I would take him to the school during their basketball practice. I think it was like 2:30. I had to get him there at 2:30 because the school didn't get let out until 3:30, but the athletes got out at 2:30, so they had time to do their homework. So he had to report for practice on this middle school basketball team at 2:30, be with the team, then they would go to practice, or if it was a game day, they would go to the games. So let me tell you, people don't know about this opportunity a lot of times, that homeschoolers can go to the public schools or area private schools and participate. We had to pay a small fee. because it was a private school that he was participating in their athletics department. And even those students that attended that school had to pay a fee to participate in that sport. Now with the public school, if it's within your school district and it's allowed in your state, you'll have to check. Then you don't even have to pay for that. It's all covered under your tax dollars. So I have friends in Pennsylvania. Hi girls. And one of the girls is an avid actress. She does community theater. She does all types of acting, and they are homeschooled. Well, she participates in her neighborhood public high school's theater program because the state of Pennsylvania allows that. So I'll tell you, there's so many opportunities out there for your homeschooler to be immersed with the kids that go to school in their activities, but you don't know about it. So I would encourage you to research those things, because when my son participated in that private school's athletic department, he was the first homeschool student ever to participate. The coach of the basketball team didn't even know that homeschoolers were allowed to participate, and he was the director of their athletic program. I was researching, thank God for computers. I tell you guys, it's a working homeschool person's best friend, and I saw it come out that the athletic association that they were affiliated with, that they were allowing homeschoolers to participate. When I called that athletic department and said, hey, I have a athlete that wants to participate, they were so happy to get them, because these small private schools, they don't have enough athletes a lot of time to field their teams. So they were so happy to see the tall brown boy coming in to be on their basketball team. So you never know where opportunities are out there. I would always research stuff when I had a little downtime on my night shift. I would just go on and look for opportunities and look for things, and then call the people later the next day. So the opportunities are out there, and my son actually even made friends at this private school as a homeschooler, which he would have never had the opportunity to meet those people. So the fourth way that your homeschooler can make friends without actually going to school is community sports. This is a big one for us. My sons are very into all athletics, every sport: basketball, baseball, track and field. So today I was a baseball mom because my young Nate the Great is participating in a community baseball team, which means it's not competitive like AAU, and it's not associated with any type of organization or school. It's just a fee. Like, I think my husband paid like $125. They gave Nate the Great a hat. They gave, he has a shirt, and then they're volunteer coaches. So it only runs for 6 weeks. You know, he's only 9 years old, but this is an opportunity for him to be with kids in the community. It's on the same day of the week, so I can plan my shifts around it for 6 weeks. And he's made friends. So now he's done this type of low key, you know, when I say low key, not competitive, because when you get to the competitive level, it's a whole nother story, especially here in Texas. They're serious about their sports, okay? So it's like he's done it with the YMCA, he's done it with different little recreation centers, and he's made friends that way. So sports is another way. The recreation centers, if you live in an area that has community funded recreation centers, which means some of the tax dollars goes into those activities, your children could even go to like after school programs. The library will have classes, like the kids can come and learn to play a video game. They can learn to do coding. So the fifth way that my children make friends, even though they are homeschoolers, is just community activities. So we have done dance, 2 different types of martial arts. Both boys started off with Taekwondo. The older boy has now moved into Kung Fu. He wants to come up in here with swords and whatnot. But you know, they're supposed to be kept in the garage. I think they make their way into the house sometimes. Let me see, whatever other activities. Piano, we made good friends on choir, just so, and there's so many more, but these are just the ones that we have participated in and made friends. There's gardening clubs, there's so many things. And then you can pick and choose. I feel like when you're at school and when your children are at school, and my children have been in school, you know, Grant went to school for a couple of years, and I feel like I didn't have a choice of what time he was going to participate in extracurricular activities. It was bound by the school, it was bound under those hours, and as a working homeschool mom, I love having the flexibility of saying, okay, here are 5 baseball programs that are offered in the community. Oh, I'm going to pick this one because it's always on Thursday and Saturday, and that works with my schedule at the hospital. The times when they've been in school, I didn't have that flexibility. It was what it was, and then they felt bound to participate in the activities with their classmates. But with homeschooling, we're like, oh, well, look, these are the 3, and we're going to pick the ones that work for us. And it has worked out well for us. We've never had any difficulty making friends. Now, you will have children that have different personalities. Of course, my 3 children could not be any more different. They are so different in their learning styles and in their, just the way they socialize as well. And all of them have been able to successfully have friends, even with us moving and having lived in 5 different states. You do not have to feel that you have to send your children to school so that they can have friends. This was a comment that I received from a mom that said her son is a teenager. I think he's like 13. He feels like, oh, I don't have any friends. I want to go to school so that I can have friends. Being at school and being around, just because you're around people every day for 5 or 6 hours a day, doesn't mean that those people are going to be your friends. So if your concern is that, oh my gosh, how are my children going to make friends if I homeschool them? Worry yourself no more, fortunate one. Worry yourself no more. They are going to make friends, the right friends, and that should not be a reason for you not to homeschool. I hope that answers your questions. That's what we've done. And if you have any further questions, put them down below, and I try to answer all of the comments. Okay, I'm gonna get back to my spritzer. Look what else I have. Okay, you know, y'all know I'm from Philly. The pretzel goes with everything. The pretzel is from a wedding to a baby shower, so you know I had to buy some frozen pretzels since this was the first baseball game of the season for Nate the Great. So I'm gonna enjoy my spritzer, my non-alcoholic spritzer, my pretzel, and then do some more planning for our curriculum for the upcoming year. All right, I love you, fortunate ones. Thank you so much for all of your comments. Just so many positive comments. The reason I'm making these videos is because you can do it. If it is being placed on your heart that you need to homeschool, single mom, single dad, grandparent, you can do it. And I'm here to encourage you. Bye, fortunate ones.